Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Are you an inspiring entrepreneur? Or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to take your business to the next level. My name is LarryWBrooks, and I am the author of Empowering Quotes for the Entrepreneur in You and The Entrepreneur Code. In these two books, I guarantee you there's success secrets that will take your business to the next level. I personally invite you to visit LarryWBrooks.com. Go under the books link and purchase your signed personal copy from myself. You have a great day and have an awesome 2020.
Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Are you an inspiring entrepreneur? Or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to take your business to the next level. My name is LarryWBrooks, and I am the author of Empowering Quotes for the Entrepreneur in You and The Entrepreneur Code. In these two books, I guarantee you there's success secrets that will take your business to the next level. I personally invite you to visit LarryWBrooks.com. Go under the books link and purchase your signed personal copy from myself. You have a great day and have an awesome 2020.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in the city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in this Thursday. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you, man. We have a really exciting episode planned for you all that I'm sure everyone in our audience will take a lot of great information from. But first, I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's also a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, but he is also and most famously known as the co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to thank him so much for being here with me this week, and I'd like to introduce our co-host, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks.
What up, Rick? We in the building, man. Another day, another Thursday, going live. Let's go.
Nah, man, look. If everybody in the audience can't notice that your energy is jumping off the screen right now, hey, it's because today is one of those once a year days. Today is like a Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm holiday, man. First thing first, appreciate you for holding it down with us, Larry, but share with our audience about what makes today so special.
You know, man, after 20 plus years in this industry of real estate, man, there's nothing like building a family, building a community. And so not only do you build a family and a community with people that you help that are looking to buy, sell, and invest in real estate, but you build a family and a community with the realtors that you work with, you teach, you coach this industry with. And so Today is Brooks and Davis's holiday party, man. So we get a chance to fellowship with other agents and realtors in the industry because we invite the city out. We want everybody to come out and have a great time. Absolutely. And then, of course, we invite out our past clients. You know, we want to celebrate them. We want to show gratitude to all the people that have had an opportunity to be successful and that we can continue to pour into, man. So it's one of those days, man. So the blood is always flowing on the day.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look, I got to make sure we take some time, man, to bring the flyer out because just in case you didn't realize from how excited me and Larry are, everybody is officially invited. Yeah. Tonight, the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm holiday party, man.
No doubt.
It's Thursday tonight, man. Come out, hang out with myself and the Texas Real Estate King.
Yes,
every
indeed.
year, we look forward to giving away great door prizes, having a chance to interact, network, fellowship, all that good stuff. And if you have been checking out the Prime Real Estate Network podcast all year and haven't had an opportunity to make it out to an open house or a networking event or to stop by the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm office, do not let that deter you. Tonight can be the first night you ever hung out with us.
Tonight can be the first night, no doubt
about it. Hey, look,
it.
We don't take it personal. I understand if you come out for the holiday party, man. We all want to meet one and greet one. So, man, everybody take this as your open invitation tonight, 6 p.m. at 3204 Lyons Avenue here in Houston, Texas. It's the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm annual holiday party, brother.
No doubt about it.
Look, man, not only is today the holiday party, but I'm also really excited because these are one of those days where we get to allow our audience to get a little bit more of a background as far as how you move, how I move, some of the stuff we do when we're not actually always in the total fray of real estate business, buying, selling, and investing. So could you share with our audience, Larry, a little bit about your connection to today's guest and what it took to get them to sit in with us this week?
Yeah, well, man, I tell you what, it didn't take much. You know, he's an amazing guy. He's been doing what he's doing for quite some time. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting him. I want to say with the pandemic, it throws out my timeline, but I want to say like 2014 or 15, I had an opportunity to visit the participate in the MLK ski weekend. And so I first went as a guy that just wanted to go and get the experience, right? Mm-hmm. The second year, I ended up sponsoring it. And then the third year, I ended up going because I just wanted to have fun all over again, man. So I've had an opportunity of going quite a few times. And so over that time period, he and I have met in different places. We participated in other organizations that were hosting events and just built a friendship, an opportunity where if he needs me, I can reach out. He can reach out to me and then vice versa. And so I just wanted him to be a part of the platform. I wanted him to talk about that experience, talk about where the brainchild and where that came from and things like that. And just having an opportunity to have him here today, man, knowing how his energy is, knowing how much he loves to show love and build community, man. And it was nothing like it. So I remember being one of the sponsors of one of the buses that were going down to hey, man, listen. When I tell you the energy is rock and roll, I'm playing that Southside music. Listen, it was it's truly an event, man. That's another reason why I'm happy, man, because I love to travel. And so when you get to talking to a gentleman like we have on the show today, that's a travel extraordinaire, as I like to call him, you get an opportunity of just really building up your network and really pouring into relationship currency, which is something that we've done.
The reason I'm really excited to interview this week's guest because I want to meet the man. That hooks Southside LB on snow, mountains, and skiing. Because look, Larry, coming where we come from, that's not an everyday occurrence.
That's
so
right.
I got to see the gentleman that got you hooked. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This fine gentleman is not only a professional brand marketer, he is also an entrepreneur, and most importantly, he's one of the lead organizers of the MLK Ski Weekend. I want to thank him for hooking Larry on skiing and sitting in with us this week, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Shed Amin. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what up, though? As we say
man,
from Detroit.
First things first, representing the D, man, thank you so much for your time. So I got to ask, first things first for our audience who are native Texans and ain't had a chance to actually enjoy MLK Ski Weekend. Could you just introduce them to the event, how long it's been going on, and what's made it so fulfilling for everybody who has a chance to be a part of it like Larry?
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here on you guys' show. We talk a little bit about MLK Ski Weekend. MLK Ski Weekend, we are in our 26th year of this event. It's been a long time, right? And people say, man, 20 years, 6 years, that's a long time, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the backstory, what have you, but I've personally been involved with the event for 17 of the 26 years, 17, maybe 18. I started to lose track a little bit. But the event takes place Martin Luther King weekend every year. We do it up north. We do it on a ski resort. So it is truly a ski trip, not just, hey, we going to a hotel party and call it a ski trip. It is an actual ski trip where it's funny because a lot of people from Florida, great state of Florida, I got a lot of friends there. The first question they ask usually is like, can we rent clothes when we get there? That question. Yeah. My esteemed colleagues from Texas, at least they get out and travel a little bit, and they know a little bit that once you start trickling up north, it's going to get a little nippy, and you got to kind of invest in some apparel, some things to keep you a little warm. And, your ice storms, occasional ice storms and hurricanes, kind of make your mind understand that you can't just travel somewhere and then figure you'll get some garments that will accommodate you when you get to your destination. So that's the funny thing, having to explain to people like, no, when you get off the plane, it's real. It's real, right? So you feel that cold for the first time and your face has not been acclimated to that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we
MLK ski weekend. I wanted to ask you, and I got to ask you this question because one of the things that I've been so impressed with about the MLK ski weekend, not only through my research but talking to Larry, is that he told me how inviting it is, where you don't have to feel like you need to be an expert skier to actually be a part of this, and that there's a camaraderie that starts to develop with all the people who are a part of the event. And as an organizer, is that something that you guys planned on building into the event, or is it just something that over time just organically came to be?
Great question. So that is probably one of the components of the event itself that, compels people to come together, right? It's about like-minded individuals doing something that is different than the norm, different than what they would have thought that they would be interested in or whatever. But so you don't have people on one side of a wall and then on the other side of the wall. You know what I mean? You've got people who already universally are thinking about doing something outside of the box. And then on top of that, you're dealing with demographics of people that have means, right? They can travel. They know how to get on a plane. They know how to handle themselves in places outside of their normal. That gives you the opportunity when everyone comes together that, it's a natural vibe, right? And people meet each other and they become friends for life. They connect for the rest of their durations here on this planet. And anytime they can say, hey, maybe we're doing something, we want to go to Dubai, right? And they know people that they met on MLK ski weekend will more than likely be ready to, take those real deal type of trips and be able to, just roll with it. So that's the type of people that attend MLK ski weekend, which is why if you're an entrepreneur or you're, a single woman, single gentleman, whatever, you're looking to connect with somebody who is on the same level of thinking, you'd more likely find that individual than you would at the club.
Yeah. And I'll add to that too, Shab, because when I always get asked, because, sometimes MLK get a negative consultation. I always tell people, I was like, I went 3 times. I say 3 to 4 times. That means a lot because that means that it's well organized. And I like to tell the people it's well organized. The events that are planned are scheduled and they're timely. And it functions like a well-oiled machine. So, falling into something that has had your touch for 17 plus years, it just kind of manifests to show people that it can be done right. And so I want to just add on to what you said. It is done right, very professional, very fun. If you're a young professional, you don't have to feel isolated with going and just having an amazing time socializing with people that look like you in an environment that feels comfortable. So I just want to add to that, just as a person that personally has experienced it several times, man, I've had a great time.
Hey, thanks. And that's the idea about it. It's to be able to come and do something different with with cool people, you know, and we gets it in. So, and it's not like how you would think it would be stuffy, like, oh, we're on a ski resort, oh, real snobby, whatever, you know, good and well. It's like you say, on the bus getting to the resort, right? It's crunk, is banging, right?
That's
you know,
right.
it sets
That's right.
it sets the mood, it sets the tone, and then it's just from that high, and it just keep on going until you just like, I'm ready to go home. I can't take no more.
And we had a great time, and no doubt about it. Yep.
Chad, I have to ask you because as a businessman and professional marketer, were you interested in skiing as a hobby before you became a part of MLK Ski Weekend, or did you see that industry or the skiing vibe as an opportunity from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and that's where your interest started to awaken?
Man, that's a great question. It's probably my story is probably going to be different than what people would think, right? So I'm from Detroit, right? Detroit's way up north, and so we do some way up north type stuff. When I was little, my parents got me involved in ice hockey. They had a police athletic league sponsored ice arena in Detroit, Jack Adams Arena, and they encouraged the inner city kids to join and just to learn about hockey. It was kind of like a social experiment to see if they got black kids involved in hockey, what would happen, would they, like it, would they gravitate to it, and would they encourage other people to do it instead of just going into, basketball and football. And so the leagues were big and a bunch of kids, little kids. So instead of us in the streets doing dumb stuff or not doing anything at all, we were building our social interactions and relationships with other kids who look just like us, and we're playing ice hockey, and a very expensive sport that is really the only barrier for black people. I mean, there's two barriers to black people. One, the weather, and two, is the expense of it, right? And so up north, we're already in the cold, so we have to know how to do it. You see us wearing winter boots and Timbs, whatever, like the ones in the South, them the work boot ones. So we use the Timbs we wear. You see in the music videos, them the real deal ones that keep your feet warm. So that already was like number one. It helped me to feel comfortable doing something winterish. Now, also by playing ice hockey, it has fundamentally a lot of the same skill sets that you would use in skiing. And so I learned how to ski because I knew how to ice skate really well. Skiing was like, man, I could do this. And I learned how to ski without ski lessons. I just jumped on the skis like, boom, here we go. So that was cool. So that's how I got into skiing. So it was always just a hobby. I mean, it's nothing that I'm thinking from a business standpoint, trying to build something on. It's just something to do. One of my boys hit me one day, and he said, yo, what you got going on this week? I said, nothing much, whatever. He's like, yo, there's a ski trip, man. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah, man, that might be cool. All right, what day? He's like, it's tomorrow. I'll pick you up. Pick you up at 7. Right. And so I jumped in the whip and we went on the ski trip, and it was dope. It was fun, Now,
was it based in Detroit at that time, or where was this? Where was it originate? Where was it? Where did you first start at with the ski weekends?
It started at Blue Mountain Ski Resort in Canada. In Canada,
so
but
first. Okay.
It's first, but it's a different situation because at this time the ski resort was very marginal at best. It was rinky-dink, no village. It was just you got a few slopes or whatever. But the reason why that trip existed was the history of Martin Luther King as a national holiday. If you gentlemen are old enough to know the history behind when they first tried to introduce Martin Luther King Day as a holiday, that you had certain states that refused to recognize it, like Arizona, right? The whole Public Enemy, Chuck D track, about Arizona and them not wanting to recognize Martin Luther King holiday as a national holiday. Yeah. So in Michigan, Detroit specifically, what you know about it is that we are very big in the automotive industry. And automotive industries have big, powerful unions. And within the constraints of the union and the automotive industry, the workforce is mostly Black. We'll say people of color, multicultural, they're black. You know, in Detroit, anybody who's been to Detroit, you know Detroit is a black city.
No doubt about it.
So, so the people who worked in the automotive industry petitioned the automotive companies like, yo, part of our contract, we want Martin Luther King Day off. And of course, they got that concession. It's like, say less, you got it.
Yeah.
And so once they made the holiday recognized by the unions, by the automotive industry, then it became, okay, we got a three-day weekend. Now, what will we do? Now, so there's a bunch of engineers and people working in the automotive industry. It's like, well, it's wintertime, it's cold here. What can we do? And they was like, well, you know, let's do something different. Let's just do a little ski trip. And so that's how the original originators of the Black Ski Trip, or what different things they called it. They didn't really have a name for it. King of the Hill, some things they used to call it. They said we can go to Canada, because even back then we didn't need passports to go to Canada. All we had to do is show our driver's license, and we in there. I mean, talk about customs and immigrations. There was none of that. It was like, yo, I live down there. I'm going here. No problem. And they across the border, you know. And so that took place. So it started in 1996 when they started doing that. And people would just go there, and it would just be, you know, like they get like couple hundred people. They go skiing. It was cool. But the originators of the event couldn't sustain people being able to participate. Here's the okie doke. So the way that they collected money for the trip was that they would meet at the mall. They'd meet at Northland. If you're from Detroit, you know the mall. They said we'd be at Northland at 2:00. Come drop off your check. People come drop off their check. They'd go to the trip the week later, and about the time the trip was over, the organizers would find that some of their checks would bounce. After the trip.
Oh man, that's
right. Yeah, so it was kind of like me. I thought that was a terrible business plan that they had.
Terrible, no doubt about it.
And they folded. They said, "Look, we can't do this anymore. I mean, we it doesn't work, right?" And I'm like, "Well, duh. I mean, you getting people's checks or people paying you when they get there. Yeah. That's a terrible business plan." So they stopped. But I then at that point, you know, because my boy, he brought me, and I was like, man, this is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I graduated from Michigan. I was at Michigan State University, and I was known at Michigan State University as a person of social interactions and dealings with a great number of masses of people. Yeah. And so for me, I had a huge network of connections. Back then, the connections were through email. So if you had email connections with people, then you could reach and do whatever you wanted to. You know, now there's a lot of other different forms of what we call connections, but we only had really one thing. We didn't have text messaging back then. All we had was email. And that was new.
86 for sure, yep.
Right. And that was new. And so I said, well, you know what? I'm going to bring a group out here, and we're going to do it on MLK, and, you know, we'll just see what's up. So my first year that I got involved with it, I brought 13 people to the mountain, and we had a ski trip. We rented out a chalet, and it was crazy. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. And then so they were like, hey, you got to do this again, you know, from an organization standpoint. Yeah. What I used, which was new at the time, and, you know, us as people of color, we were kind of hesitant to use it. I was like, I'm going to set up my website, and everyone's going to make their payments on website utilizing PayPal. Man, people were like, there's no way I'm putting my credit card online. I heard that they're going to steal my credit card, take all my money. No way. So I say, look, this ain't for everybody, right? If you can't adapt to the changing ways of business, because it's the only way that my business plan was going to work, was that we're going to use electronic commerce to process payments. Yep. And what that meant was that the only people who were really going to go on this trip were people who trusted me and knew me personally. Yep. Fortunately for me, I knew a lot of people. So the next year that we did this thing, I brought 45 people.
Wow.
45 people say, yo, shit, I'll drop that money on your website. We good to go. And that is how it all started up, and new branding. And we changed this thing from what it was, Black Ski Weekend. We changed it to be called MLK Ski Weekend because it was dedicated that it would always take place the weekend of Martin Luther King Day. And that way people would always know every year a dedicated time in which it would happen, because it would be our 3-day weekend, right? Where you'd have the Monday off for work for most places.
Yeah.
So that's how we started.
No, I have to ask you this question because on our platform, Larry and I always like to champion the spirit of collaboration, partnership in business, and being able to grow faster by being able to utilize the talented people in your network. So my question for you, sir, is how many partnerships or how many people are involved do you work with or collaborate with to make MLK Ski Weekend the event that Larry enjoys so much and allows it to run so smooth?
Oh, great. Another great question. There's a lot of people like to do events on the level that MLK Ski Weekend is on. One person can't do it. It takes a number of people. So MLK Ski Weekend probably has about a good 6 people that are organizers to help manage it. Not only manage it, but also, managing is a whole nother number of people, right? It's 365-day event, right? So it happens, and the very next day after it's over, it starts for the next year. Yeah. And that's about a good 6 people that are doing things throughout the country to manage it, because you've got events, you've got participants, you've got promotions, you've got just other different dynamics and other tangible opportunities for it to be the entity that it is, because it's not just about the event, it's about building the brand, right? Like I could be anywhere in the world and I could, mention someone, have you heard of MLK Ski Weekend? And they'll say, yeah, I have. You know what I mean? And you don't get that by just doing it a couple years. You don't get it by just staying within your own constraints. You have to be able to expand into a lot of different networks, and then those networks have to work for you. It's almost like wealth building, right? People, you say the difference between, being rich and being wealthy, right? What's the difference, right? Wealth is when your assets are working on your behalf. And so MLK Ski Weekend has built assets that work on its behalf without it just being a promoter-driven event where, hey, come out here, pay this amount of money, come to this event. No, this is something where it's not attracting people because we're saying we've got Lil Wayne's going to perform, right? We are attracting people because they know the brand and the consistency of it, and that there's other people who can advocate for it to say, I went, it was what they said it was going to be. I trusted it, dropped the money, it was all good. We could call, we could find out information, and we met some great people. It was a good time.
No, and I had to ask you that, so I thank you so much for being so transparent and so open, because so many entrepreneurs and business people check out our podcast, and one of the things that we always want people to feel comfortable with is networking and being comfortable letting go. So many of us as business builders, we see one thing in our mind's eye, we plan it out ourselves, and it's hard to collaborate or to let go because we want to do everything ourselves, but that can stunt growth. So I want to thank you so much. And can you give our audience any advice on how you were able to delegate responsibility and not feel the pressure of feeling as if you had to do everything yourself?
Great. So it's development of business plans and creating a strategy. We get so caught up in the execution and just go. No, and that's why I say MLK Ski Weekend is a 365 operation, right? Because once the event ends, then it's about, all right, let's start the planning for the next year. What needs to be in place, what things went right, what things went wrong. I believe in recaps, like surveys, right? So you survey your attendees, you get a lot of feedback, right? So that you can be able to take that feedback, so you can not just on your own assume what went right. You can get that perspective from the people who actually attended.
That's right.
And then you can take that information to make what you do better. Even things that you're doing well, you can still figure out a way to make them even better. And that's the plan part, right? You say, okay, this is what is going to work, or this is what's worked before, and this is how we can improve upon it, continuous improvement. And then you make your connections with your collaborators, right? You make connections with the resorts. You make a decision if you're going to continue it in the place that you've done it, that you're currently doing it, and if
Speaking
it
of
makes
that,
sense. But yeah, let's talk about it.
No. Speaking of that, because I think is it this year that is the first time that you've changed the location, or was it last year as well?
Let's talk about location changes. So the first
Let's
place
talk
that
about it, because I kind of want to know, what's the what was behind it.
So we did when we first started doing it, it was in Canada at Blue Mountain Ski Resort, and Blue Mountain Ski Resort was kind of rinky dink. It was just okay, but it was a ski resort. It was cool. Then I really wanted to grow the event, and I said, man, I know that I could really get it exposure to everybody in America if I can move it to Boyne Mountain Ski Resort in Michigan. I could really get the people from Detroit who could be able to come participate in. And then, we ran into where, after, what was it, 9/11, and then they restricted borders. So now you had to have a passport to go across into Canada. And so a lot of people in Detroit can't cross the border for whatever reasons. And so I said, let me get it to Michigan, and then we can let our people have some fun. And we grew it. We grew it substantially in Michigan. And the resort at Boyne, in all transparency, they gave us an opportunity to be able to put it on a platform where people from throughout the country could be able to see the event, be able to attend the event. But what we found is that the culture of the ski resort at Boyne was very limiting and very non-inclusive. And for me, being a Black man from Detroit, there's certain things that I'll work with, and then other things I know that our buying power and, our people, what we do, we deserve what we deserve. And I made the decision, I'm not even messing with y'all up here up north. And y'all keep doing what y'all do. Good luck with that. We could do our own thing somewhere else. And we went back to Canada. And then we made the trip an official international trip. It was always international from the beginning, but it didn't have that international feel. But then we were saying, hey, we're going to have people come from all over the country, all over the world, and we're going to have an international trip in Canada. And that's when we really took the numbers to another level, because we coincided with the whole movement of people of color now traveling, because people didn't travel like that.
That's
they
right.
They get in their car. They get in their car, go somewhere. If you're in Texas, you go to Louisiana,
Nah, people really wasn't moving around like that. You didn't see it that often at all.
No, I got to ask you too, because it's December now. MLK weekend will be coming up in a little bit more over a month. So for those who've never had the opportunity to enjoy MLK ski weekend, is it too late for them to get involved in MLK ski weekend 2023? And if not, how can they go about setting reservations, getting involved, and booking those travel arrangements?
It is not too late. We still have some units left. You can go online. We have an app, because we're a real operation. So we have a website, blackskiweekend.com, and we have an app, and it's downloadable on both Android and Apple. And you can still get units. This trip, now typically get a lot of people who we get a lot of people who, hold on, am I frozen? Can you guys see me?
We can see you. You look like you turned your phone up, though. You turned your phone up.
I didn't do anything different.
It's okay. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we still got reservations open, and the event itself. Let's talk about where it is now. So we've been in. We started in Canada. We went to Boyne. We went back to Canada, and now we're in Pennsylvania. We're at Seven Springs Mountain Resort in Pennsylvania. Is outside of Pittsburgh. So people who are trying to go to the event, they would fly into Pittsburgh, and then from Pittsburgh to the resort is only an hour. So we have a bus that's going to go from Pittsburgh to the resort. It's only an hour trip on the bus. The bus gonna have to turn up and everything like that. So it's easy to get to. We decided to do it in Pittsburgh because or outside of Pittsburgh because it was a convenience factor. We want to stay in the Midwest. We didn't want to go to a big mountain out in like Colorado or something like that. And we didn't want to go out, let's say like east would be like so far for people to get to. We wanted to be able to create a good path for travel for people from Texas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and even people from Toronto and New York. Yes. And of course, it's in the state of Pennsylvania, so the people in Pennsylvania can see it too.
That's so outstanding, man. I mean, I thank you so much because MLK Ski Weekend is something that I've always heard about. Me personally, I haven't had the opportunity to enjoy the event or the weekend, but everything that Larry has talked about as far as how organized, how the events run so smoothly, and on top of it all, how much fun he had with other like-minded professionals and business people is something that you can't get all the time in your local areas for whatever reason. So I urge everyone to reach out to you, to go download the app, go to the website, and book their accommodations because, as you mentioned, spots are getting taken up quickly. So I thank you so much, sir, for sitting in with us, man. I want to thank you so much for everything that you're doing because a lot of times, especially as entrepreneurs and business people, the path that we travel can be underappreciated by most, but just understand you're respected by all those people who walk that same path. So to your team, to yourself, I want to thank you so much for sitting in with us this week, man. And if there's any final words you would like to share with our audience, sir, feel free to do so.
Thank you. We encourage everyone who's ever heard about this event or had the inkling to participate in a ski trip, look cute in their pictures and things like that, do a snow angel. Check us out, www.blackskiweekend.com, mlkskiweekend.com. Download our app so you can see what it is we do, what we stand for, what we're going to provide to you in terms of entertainment and the time of your life. Just check us out. Maybe if you can't come in 2023, we'll be around in 2024, 2025. We're going to be doing this, and we hope that you join this movement.
Hey, real quick, Chad, I got a random question. Now you're in an area where, for some reason, I was just in Detroit about a month ago, and for some reason, someone told me Detroit is supposed to be known for pizza. So, you being a real travel person as yourself, is it New York pizza, Chicago pizza, or Detroit pizza? And try not to be biased.
Well, you know what? A lot of people don't even know that they eat Detroit pizza, right? Anytime you're eating the square pizzas that's kind of thick, like a Jets or things like that, that's Detroit style pizza.
That's Detroit style pizza.
You know, so Chicago Sede pizza, which is the deep dish. New York got them big old flappy pizzas, things, whatever like that. Yeah. But I will unbiasedly say that I'm a fan of pizza by what kind of mood I'm in. You know, what kind of mood I'm in. I love some Chicago deep style pizza, and they've got Chicago deep dish style pizza in Detroit also at Pizza Popolis, whatever. But Lou Malnati's is like my favorite pizza, and that's in Chicago. But you know, we eat Detroit style pizza and don't even. I mean, it's like it's just a staple. If you grew up in the hood or whatever, Buddy's Pizza, Jets Pizza, there's a lot of other. Type of
I've had both of them. And it's crazy that you mentioned it because I did not know that, you know, Detroit had the claim to fame of the square pizza until I was actually there, went to Buddy's, and they was like, yeah, no, we know for pizza. And that's when it kind of hit me. I was like, okay, so now we got three in the ball game. At first it was the deep dish, like you said, Chicago, then those slices that New York has, but the square pizza is labeled by Detroit, and I just found that out a month ago, but had an amazing time doing so. So thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, thank you so much, man. We would love to have you on again. If there's anything that you or your team have going on, we and Larry would love to be involved. So thank you so much for your time, brother, man. It's been great.
All right, Larry. All right, Rick. Thank you.
Hey, have a good one, Chad. Appreciate you, brother.
Definitely.
Come on, man, Brooks. Now that one was hot, man. Nigga.
Yeah.
That was hot like fire, my dude.
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell man, any people that are out there and you've been looking to because like you said, where we come from, A, ain't no snow. B, you never really know what to expect. But what I will say, man, is this most definitely on the level that if you're coming in from the South, you will go down there and enjoy yourself. One of the things that he said that was so key to me is that I build relationships that I still have to this day. That I met, during that weekend, right? So, or during those weekends. So it's most definitely, if you're looking for something that you've never done outside of the box, it is something that you do. I am an expert skier now. But I'm just joking. But I do enjoy getting on it. But it's crazy because it's like the movies, man. You never know what you're gonna get. Like I enjoy skiing. I got ski gear. So when I go to New York or I'm in Philly and it's cold season, I just grab my ski gear and just take my warmers with me.
So you got your bubble coat, you got your knitted cap, you're ready for action.
Yeah, listen, you see me in New York a week ago with my bubble coat
man,
on.
Look,
I'm not playing with them.
Hey, look, and while you in such a good mood, man, look, please give your final shout outs to the audience. Invite everybody to the holiday party and let them know what's going on this weekend with the Texas Real Estate King.
That's it, man. I am. I'll be in the city and I'll most definitely be at the holiday party. I'll have some Pure Hustle merch. I'll have some books and stuff. So for all of you that are going to be in the city and you're able to come out to the holiday party tonight, we love to show you some gratitude. Love to show the city how much we appreciate them and how much they've taken care of not only myself for 20 plus years in this real estate industry, but Brooks and Davis over the last 14 years. In just a month or so, actually January 14th, we'll be celebrating 15 years. So by all means, man, we appreciate y'all. Come on out. Allow us to show y'all some of the love and the gratitude that y'all have given us for so many years.
No doubt, man. I want to thank everyone in the audience. I want to thank Mr. Shed Amin of the MLK Ski Weekend. He was great. He was a great guest, man. It was a pleasure to do his interview. Big shout out to over the team at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. They put so much into this holiday party. And I wanted to let them know we appreciate everything that they have going on. So everyone in the audience, on behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, remember, tonight's the night, Brooks and Davis holiday party. And until next week on Thursday, everyone in our audience, please, this weekend, be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.